Woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words migrate.
Why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was actually a great thing. Alert to injustice was not bad. But words do migrate.
We're all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Why does one debate spark so much noise? BillMaher, known for speaking his mind without apology, stepped onto The View, and it wasn't just another TV segment. It was a clash that exposed the fault lines and how America talks about politics, culture, and identity. Maher, with his sharp-witted Sekretär Emri Oriden Sharkomain, Diri direct approach, took on Sunny Hostin and her co-host over some of the most divisive issues today: Trump, voters, wokeness, and accountability. What made this moment stand out wasn't just the heated words, but the way Maher's arguments challenged the room and resonated far beyond it. How did a single action turn into a cultural flashpoint? Why do debates like these leave people talking for weeks? Buckle up, because this isn't just about personalities clashing. It's about a deeper divide shaping modern America. Let's see how it all started. The tension didn't come out of nowhere. The View is known for its heated debates, but this episode was a powder keg waiting to explode. BillMaher, famous for taking no prisoners in his commentary, stepped into a
Me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything, and I know that you're
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. Yeah. So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized, and so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words migrate.
So why is that a bad?
The backdrop, America's cultural war lines, Sunny H, with her sharp legal mind and progressive stance, wasn't going to let Maher's criticism slide. Add Joy Bahar's unfiltered comments and Whoopi Goldberg's attempts at control, and you had a perfect storm. Maher brought his signature style, armed with humor and sharp critique, while Hostin stood firm, defending the values she holds close. But this wasn't just a panel discussion. It became a battleground of ideologies where words like woke and accountability weren't just debated, but dissected. How did this spark? The firestorm that followed the trigger was a single explosive claim. Joy Bahar didn't just throw out a hot take, she lit a match. Comparing MAGA hats to swastikas wasn't just provocative, it outraged viewers across the political spectrum. The backlash came fast, with critics accusing her of
I mean, it's just astounding to me that they can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. I mean, just morally. I mean, let me tell you, if you're for Hamas, just live in Gaza for a day. And I'm not talking about while the war is on. I mean, before the war. Trust me, you would go running and screaming and begging to live in Tel Aviv, a place that has your values.
Trivializing Nazi atrocities and labeling millions of Americans unfairly. BillMaher didn't hold back. He called the comparison reckless, pointing out that it alienates rather than persuades. Sunny Host-backed Bahar doubled down on the need to hold Trump's supporters accountable, but Maher flipped the narrative, arguing that sweeping generalizations like these deepen the divide and make real conversation impossible. The studio buzzed with tension, and even the audience seemed unsure of how to react. This wasn't just a debate about Trump or his supporters. It was a deeper argument about how America talks about its differences. Could this fiery exchange open doors to understanding or just widen the gap further? When the word woke entered the debate, the conversation shifted into high gear. Sunny Hostin passionately defended its roots, reminding everyone it originally symbolized awareness of social injustice in Black communities. But BillMaher didn't let her off the hook. His argument was blunt. Words evolve, and woke has become something else entirely. A symbol.
Don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay? That was a joke. But,
Too dark.
Well, maybe it is, but it's true. I mean, you know, if I had any doubt that I was right about the change that's happened in the left, watching people protest for a terrorist organization like Hamas, that straightened me up pretty quick.
But they're driving people away from the left. Hostin pushed back, saying awareness of injustice can't be a bad thing. Maher agreed in theory, but warned that the left's obsession with language and ideological purity was handing Trump and his supporters easy ammunition. The room felt tense, and the conversation was about to take another sharp turn as they tackled Trump voters directly. The debate hit another boiling point when Joy Behar argued Trump voters should be held responsible for his actions, saying her supporting Trump was a moral failure, but Ma didn't let it slide. He challenged the idea that millions of people could be reduced to a single negative stereotype. Maher argued many Trump voters are driven by economic struggles, frustration with the political system, or even feelings of being ignored by progressive elites, not hatred or bigotry. He warned that demonizing them doesn't change minds, only deepen divides. Sunny Hostin doubled down, defending Behar's stance, while Sarah Haynes offered a calmer perspective. Haynes suggested the left should focus on understanding why people support Trump instead of condemning them outright. But Ma's sharp critique, calling out the left's failure to connect with ordinary Americans, made it clear the conversation wasn't just about Trump. It was about how to heal a fractured nation when the topic shifted to Israel. Hamas conflict tensions in the room took a different tone. BillMaher didn't mince words
Women have no, I mean, this is a show watched by a lot of women. Women have no rights in this place and a lot of majority Muslim countries around the world. I mean, there is no equal rights as far as speech, dress, opportunities for education, reproductive rights, freedom from sexual violence, freedom from sexual harassment.
The LGBTQ. Yes.
That too. But you throw around the term apartheid. There is a gender apartheid in a lot of the world, where women are second-class citizens, at best.
Emphasizing protests that he felt seemed to support Hamas, a group he labeled as a terrorist organization. He emphasized the need to destroy such groups, framing the conflict as a war for survival. Sunny Hostin pushed back, raising concerns about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. She highlighted the innocent lives being lost, especially children and women. Maher acknowledged the tragedy, but didn't waver in his stance, arguing that Hamas's aggression against Israel left no choice but for Israel to defend itself. The clash became a defining moment for Maher's bluntness, drew both applause and criticism. The host's emotional plea underscored the complexity of the issue. By the end of the segment, it was clear this debate wasn't just about Israel or Gaza. It was about how we confront the gray areas in global conflicts. BillMaher didn't stop at political debates. He went for the heart of what he calls America's mean girls culture. To him, the country has become too focused on punishing anyone who says the wrong thing. Cancel culture, he argued, isn't about...
That's the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes. So how do we get out with a ceasefire?
All right. So Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means. Okay? And they say it very openly. They said, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the Israeli... Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
About accountability anymore. It's about silencing dissent. He highlighted how the left's obsession with ideological purity is not only alienating moderates, but also handing Trump supporters their best arguments, policies that seem out of touch with everyday, like defunding the police or overly rigid language policing, are becoming political weapons against the left. Ma's critique wasn't just about politics. It was about how society